There's dirt on my hands, strong like a tree. There's roots where I stand. Oh, I've been running from the law. Hope they won't shoot me down soon.
The music's still going, I think. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Call Me Old Fashioned, where we talk everything bourbon, whiskeys, and of course, old fashions. So we got a few things in store for you guys today. We got some bottles to open up. We may have a blind tasting, but the wife's not here yet. So she's supposed to be here. She was gonna be the one pouring them up and blind them for us. But if she makes it here, we'll go ahead and do that. If not, we'll just kind of drink some bourbon and have some fun. The volume's on here. That's what it is. There we go. Now we're cooking. 8:45. I was right on time, guys. My watch is the watch we go by. Going to start things off, I made a little old-fashioned. I just used the premix from the Bullet. I reviewed that kind of early on and kind of hit the spot. You know, sometimes I don't feel like making like a full, cocktail out of it. I could just pour this right over ice. I threw a cherry in it to spice it up, but that's about as far as we got today. So I'll let a few guys get in here, and then we can go ahead and let you guys know who won the poll. Honestly, it was a pretty clear winner. So it was. I don't even think it was a poll at this point. I threw Jack Daniels in there, got massacred. It was basically a toss-up between Penelope Architect and Bardstown Single Barrel. So competition, kinda. Woodford Double Oaked Old Fashioned is definitely my favorite. Yeah, that's the way to go. I would have done that, but I really just didn't want to get all the stuff out, just to break it all down, clean it up in the sink. The wife came home with like a sink full of old fashioned stuff. She'd kind of flip out. So she has her baby shower tomorrow, so we got to make sure we kind of tiptoe. You know what I mean? So yeah. So let me pull out these real quick. Obviously we have Penelope, and then we have Bardstown Single Barrel. This is basically where I threw up a poll, just see which one of you guys wanted me to kind of crack open on stream, give it a taste, let you know my thoughts, and just really just kind of have a few drinks on a Friday. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this away. Your mom make a late run or no? But late run for what? Actually, I may need to top off with that. I don't think I put near enough in this one. All right, so one of these guys got 59% of the votes. Jack Daniels, I didn't even bring it out because it just didn't have a chance. And then the other one got like 30-something. So we'll go ahead and we'll roll the clip. I'll let you know who won the poll. Almost choked. Bardstown by a mile. I think every comment was like, Penelope needs some love. And then they said, but I'm still voting Bardstown. Penelope has been one of those bottles I've been trying to kind of hunt down, especially the Architect. I can find a few of the other ones, but Architect was one of the ones that was like always sold out. So when I found it, I was like, yeah, I gotta pick this up. This one was actually recommended to me by the guy at the liquor store. He was like, hey, I got this on sale. I did a quick search, and then normally it goes for about $100 or so. He was selling it for about 70, so I was like, yeah, let's pick it up. And then apparently everybody was like, yeah, you gotta try this one. So we're gonna go ahead and give it a taste, and I'll let you know my thoughts. We can kind of dive in. This bottle though is, because everybody likes all the little details, it's coming from Rickhouse B from floor 5. It is a 126 proof. Actually, I'm sorry, 126.8 proof. It is barrel strength, if anybody was curious. Let me know down below, have you had Bardstown? Because I haven't had any, but apparently, I watched one video, I can't remember who it was, but they were saying it was like a, they were saying it was a Blanton's killer. It was like 2 or 3 people said that. So when I saw that, I was like, all right, this now the expectation level for this bottle has gone way up. Same thing with the Blantons when everybody was hyping up Blantons and I got it. I just expected it to be that much better. So I'm hoping, you know what I mean? I'm hoping this one's better. Not better than Blanton's. I'm just hoping it's good. Especially at $70, you know? Ooh. Man, that's like, is this like a, I had to check if it was like a liqueur. It smells like chocolate syrup. I'm liking it. Honestly, right off the nose, it kind of smells like a less oakier version of a Woodford's Double Oak. Because Woodford's Double Oak gives me a lot of chocolate vibes. That's what I made that chocolate old fashioned with as well. So like, this would make a mean chocolate old fashioned. I can already tell right off the bat. Obviously, kind of with like any bourbon at this point, I kind of get a hint of vanilla, hint of caramel, like a dash of oak in there. You know, it's not too heavy on the oak. Honestly, it smells fairly good. Ooh, almost spilt it. It's fairly thin though. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. Have you had this? Do you want this? Can you find it in your stores? Am I crazy that I just overpay $70 for a Bardstown single barrel? You let me know. Yeah, just like chocolate syrup, chocolate chip pancakes. Like it's heavy on the chocolate, so I'm already a fan. I can already tell. There we go. All right, let's see what it's like on the palate. That one got some burn on it. I burnt my lip. Chocolate notes are still heavy on it. A little taste like burnt caramel as well. I get a little bit more oak, but it's got a ton of ethanol. Just straight burnt my mouth. It's only 126 proof, which obviously like compared to like a Woodford's or Elijah Craig or something like that on like their base models in a sense. Obviously, this is a lot higher proof, but I've been drinking a lot of higher proof stuff lately. This one got me right on the lip. I kind of like it though. You're waiting for the who is that? Mitchell, you're waiting for the chocolate bitters. Have you had these? Let me switch cameras for you real quick. I have the there's no way that's going to focus on it. It's the brand is Hella and it's Mexican chocolate bitters. If you can't, I mean, you can order the Woodford's chocolate bitters off of like Amazon, which they're like $13 or so. That one's about 10. That one I actually like just slightly better. But I mean, just kind of depends your preference. Like all my old-fashioned stuff, the spiced cherry bitters, orange bitters, my cherries are all Woodford's. Woodford's just makes a ton of great cocktail mixing, pieces to put in a cocktail. Those are always been my go-to. But I picked that one up just because it was a little bit cheaper when they were out of the Woodford's chocolate bitters. They're really good. It's honestly, I if I cracked it open, I'd be surprised if it wasn't just chocolate syrup in there, mixed with maybe like a little bit of water. It's really good. I'm really good at describing things for you when it comes to chocolate. I'm just like, yeah, watered down chocolate. It's better than that. Don't just try it. You know, if you really kind of jam your nose in there, you can kind of get like a little bit of a like cherries. You're dying to try that apple pie. The apple pie old fashioned was really good. That one was more of like I just started throwing stuff together, and I was like, this is gonna be good, and it was. I'm glad I did it. It's definitely like once it hits summer, and it's hot outside. Like I would not want to be drinking just bourbon neat unless it's like nighttime and I'm in the house. If I'm outside by the pool, I don't go to the pool. But you guys can imagine if I was by the pool, I'd be drinking something a little bit fresher. That apple old fashioned is right up that alley. So the wife's this is too much information for you guys. The wife's on the hunt for a strapless bra. You should have seen me in Target earlier. I went to go look for the strapless bra. I think that's what it's called. Brutal. Brutal. I was like, I had no idea what I was doing. Jesus. But either way, I couldn't find it. So she's out hunting for one now for her baby shower tomorrow. And so yeah, so this honestly is kind of growing on me the more it kind of sits. What I tend to find a lot of these bottles that either get recommended to me or I kind of see online and stuff like that, they're good at the start, but the finishes are really bad, right? Like it leaves like a weird aftertaste. I think the Haven Hill, oh yeah, Haven Hill, Heaven Hills. I like to call it Haven Hill, but everybody's destroying me for that one. Heaven Hills bottle in Bond. That one left like a weird taste on my mouth. I liked it a lot, but it did kind of leave like a weird kind of like sticky note in there. It just kind of threw me off. But once you get a couple drinks in, you don't even pay attention and stuff like that. This really good. I like it a lot. I definitely think this is like old fashioned worthy though, especially like a lot of people I know, they like drinking old fashions, but they want them to have their bourbon somewhere around that 90 to 100 proof, maybe a little bit less, just because they don't like the burn at all. What I tend to see is when you make an old fashioned though, and you put it the ice and the bitters and simple syrup, a little cherry juice, you're watering it down heavy. So to be able to have something that'd be really good in old fashioned, but also still be able to keep the proof, so you know you're like having a drink. Like that's what I kind of picture with this one. I'm half tempted to just go throw together an old fashioned with this, but I really don't want to make a mess with it. So, but yeah, let me know your thoughts. Do you like this kind of stuff? Yamit, Yamit. Finally, bro, I love saying that name. Yamit. My wife got annoyed the other night because I kept saying, I was like, Yamit's in the comments. That's funny. What's going on, man? We're trying the Bardstown single barrel strength. That's the one that won the survey or poll or whatever we did on YouTube. Again, we kind of got thrown off with tonight's stream. It's supposed to be a blind tasting between two different honey bourbons because everybody kept saying they wanted to see between two different ones. So we're still planning to do that if the wife gets here in time. Again, she's out kind of looking for stuff for the baby shower, so we're not going to like stress that. If anything, we're going to go and crack open Penelope and give that a taste as well. The professor said, what's your budget on old fashioned? You don't have a budget when it comes to old fashions. Unless you're talking Pappies. Like, obviously, I'm not going to go buy Pappies and throw that in old fashioned. That's a $2,000 bottle. Most of the bourbons that I buy in general are going to be under $100 all day, every day. So, if you're talking about from like a bar, I don't go to bars anymore. I have a bar here, so. Professor, the last time I saw you in the comments, you said you've never had an old fashioned. So I know you're coming in a few months. So we're going to have to fix that. You guys like the new controls? My buddy that kind of does YouTube part-time and stuff like that, he kind of put me onto this little app where you can kind of change cameras and stuff like that. So I thought that was kind of cool. I've been playing with it for like the past hour. So you can kind of just switch cameras back and forth. So yeah, I was kind of having a little bit too much fun with that because you can do it straight from your phone. So, but yeah, I'm definitely glad that this one won because I'm glad we started with the higher proof stuff and we kind of just work our way back down through the night. But yeah, let me know what you guys are drinking on. Obviously, if you're not drinking old fashioned, what are we doing? We started the night with a Bullet premix old fashioned, just because I got lazy. That's on me. Um, it's honestly really good though. Like if you go back and watch my first review, I was highly impressed with this. Like this was, I can't remember, but it's super cheap. Like $20 is what I'm guessing. I can't imagine I paid more than $20 for that. Hopefully I didn't pay more than $20 for this. But it's like when you're on the fly, like here, I got like a little bit of ice, right? I can just kind of crack it open, pour a little bit. It already has the bitters, a little bit of simple syrup. It's not too sweet, but it's kind of like that perfect blend of like Bullet bourbon with like the extra stuff they kind of threw in here. Now, I'm lacking the cherry, but I threw a cherry in there earlier. But just kind of be able to do that, and boom, you're done. I should be on like QVC at this point. Bam! It's no, but it's really good. Like to be able to just kind of throw it in there. Obviously, it's not like making a homemade one, but kind of take it for what you will. Professor said no, never had an old fashioned. I'm highly disappointed, but we'll fix it. Like that's just what I'll make you. I'll figure out whatever is the best bourbon that I have when you get here, and I'll make you the meanest old fashioned. Either that, or we'll like take you somewhere to have a shitty one. He also said, "Are you into like small batch micro stuff?" Yeah, I mean, I'm a fan of anything bourbon related. I'm like a fat kid with cake. Like I'll try it once. Like if I like it, great, I'll buy it. If not, then I'm never gonna buy it again. So I like being able to kind of collect it. And like, where's that other bottle I have? The this one that's kind of been like super hyped up, but also really not that great. Um, Traveler's whiskey, which is Chris Stapleton's whiskey. This one, man, I want it to be good so bad. You know what I mean? Like Chris Stapleton's, bro, he's the man. Bro, we every 4th of July we play his, you know, national anthem right before we shoot off fireworks. So, you know, I was pulling for this more than anybody at this point. But in reality, it's mediocre at best. Now, it is a cool story piece, though, right? You can break this out. Like, I'll bring it to my buddy's house, and he'll love it just because he's not, like, picky when it comes to this stuff. He'll see that it's Chris Stapleton, and he'll be like, sweet, let's drink it. You know what I mean? Just because that is what it kind of is at that point. But for anybody that has, you know, kind of like the bottle collection I do at this point, like, I can pick out 5 other bottles that are easily will just destroy that one. So when it comes to bourbon in general, I'll definitely try it. Whatever we got. Well, Mitchell says he makes his old fashioned little Luxardo juice. Yeah, yeah. I mean, everybody can say, "Oh, I want an old fashioned for the bourbon." No, we want an old fashioned so we can eat the cherry at the end. Everybody I know, we put a cherry in there, and then we put a little bit of cherry juice right over top. I use the Woodford that's over there though. Luxardo's not bad. There's like that one that's like a Japanese kind of brand. It's like dark purple. It's like dark cherry. Those are really good as well, but they're expensive as hell. Um, and if I'm going to spend that kind of money, I'd much rather be able to spend it on a Woodford's cherry. Somebody let me know the mic's rubbing, so sorry about that. Let's see. Yeah, local places. So everybody, Professor, everybody kind of gives me shit on this one. The St. Augustine Distillery here. So obviously we're based in Florida, right? Bourbon, whiskey, stuff like that. It's made Kentucky. I totally get it. But St. Augustine's bourbon is actually really not that bad. It follows all the same rules that you're supposed to for a bourbon, right? It's got the right mash buildup. It's aged for the right amount of time. We get it. I like St. Augustine's a lot, and it's like it doesn't sell worth a crap because of it's from Florida. So it I'm dying here. This is funny. Bullet Rye on the rocks is my favorite. Bullet Rye is not. Yeah. Well, oh, you said rye. I've never actually had Bullet Rye. I saw it, but every time I see it, I'm not a big rye person in general. It makes my tongue tingle like I just took Pop Rocks. But I drink it, right? And I definitely like rye spice in some of my bourbons as well. But when it comes to like really kind of diving into the rye, I'm scared. I stay away from it for the most part. But I mean, if you're recommending it and if you like it that much, I'll go buy it tomorrow. So, High Top Sports says I tweeted the NFL today for him to perform it again. Yeah, let it rock, baby. Bring him back. I'm here for it. What kind of makes me mad? Anytime I want to listen to it, I have to listen to the recording from the Super Bowl. He needs to record it on his own separately, so I can just hit repeat. What's also crazy, I don't know if you guys know this, Chris Stapleton's actually sober. The guy who sings Tennessee Whiskey doesn't drink Tennessee Whiskey. So he never even tasted that bottle. He doesn't know what the blend tastes like. He trusted everybody over there at Buffalo Trace to just handle it. Buffalo Trace, for the most part, they're great, right? They can do whatever they need to do to make a great bottle. But I think if, Chris Stapleton had a little sip of that, he might be putting them in check. Clip that. Who's your buddy? He's just a guy. Mike Tag. He's pretty fun. That'd be hilarious. Tag was watching this right now, though. St. Augustine's really good. Yeah, I love St. Augustine's bourbon. What's crazy, I go to Total Wine a lot. St. Augustine promotes heavily in Total Wine. Every time I go in there, they're like, hey, you want to try this bourbon? I go, sure. I'd love to have a sample for the first time ever. And I line up. They have a toasted. They have cognac finish. They have a like a wine finish as well. That's just disgusting. And then they have like their old fashioned premix. Their old fashioned premix with their Florida Straight bourbon is money. Everything else is kind of like okay. Their toasted is not bad either, but like again, their prices are a little bit more expensive because they are more of a local distillery and they're kind of branching out. But until they're kind of nationwide, like they're always going to have higher prices. Like you can get Elijah Craig toasted barrel for cheaper than the St. Augustine's. Elijah Craig's is better toasted barrel than they do. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, so I don't know if you or obviously you guys know who it is. St. Augustine's distillery also has like this maple syrup that we use as a simple syrup to make like a maple old fashioned. That one, it takes a lot of like syrup to actually get it done. Man, is it good. So maybe I'll have to bring that to you guys soon. Again, anything St. Augustine, everybody kind of destroys me for it. So maybe I just get like maple, like Ancient Mamas, and I get like Bardstown and make a maple old fashioned because that's maybe that will be okay for you guys. I like to come back in disguise to Total Wine and Taste again. I don't think you have to do that because at least where I'm at, they have the St. Augustine distilleries right up front. So you can taste all 7 of them once you get there. And then on the bourbon aisle, they do have them again. It's like a second booth. So you can be like, wow, I would love to try this for the first time ever. I went back 2 times one day and I did the tastings. So I'm like, well, I'm here. Why not? Right? They also have like vodka tastings, but like, bro, Buddy was trying to sell me hard. He's like, hey, man, come have a taste. Saw you had the bourbon. Try this. It's the best vodka you ever had. I go, I hate vodka. Vodka is only good for mixing with Celsius. Anything else? Get it out of here. And you only drink vodka and Celsius when you're in Vegas, by the way, guys. I don't know if you know that, but that's a good keep me up, keep me steady while you're gambling. Just letting you know. But glad you made it Sharp Dressed Cat. Man, that's a long name. I'm just gonna call you Sharp Dressed. Make it easy on me. Or Cat, whatever you prefer. Time for more scratch. Yeah. I was going to, but nobody liked it. I had to scratch them. Early in the car. I didn't win nothing. So, but I did do them. I had a $30 one and a $10 one. Not even like a, we're close. But if you really want me to, if you're going to be here for the next stream, I'll buy a scratcher just for you and I'll wait for you to be in the stream. But we'll get it like a good one, right? I'm tired of buying like $30 or $20 ones. Those are crap. Just buy the $50 one and we'll full send it. What does bottle and bond mean? It means it's been aged in a barrel for at least 4 years. So it's like a statement saying, hey, this is at least a 4-year-old bourbon. So the more you know. Like St. Augustine's, for example, because this is like an easy one to point out. St. Augustine says Florida straight bourbon. It doesn't say Kentucky straight. It doesn't say anything like that. It's just Florida straight bourbon. And that's their loophole to say, hey, it's a bourbon. And it is. It is aged for the right amount of time. But bottle and bond is at least 4 years. This one actually is a 6-year. So Bardstown, bottled in Bardstown, Kentucky, 6-year age. Mash bill up is about 60% corn, 36% rye, and about 4% malted barley. Honestly, I like this. I like it a lot. Either that or it's the old fashions hitting me. One of the two. So anything bottled and bond though usually is at least 100 proof, right? Which means it's gonna have a little bit more burn to it if you're not used to that kind of stuff. But it also has a more complex flavor to the palate, which is what I like a lot about that kind of stuff. Like I have the Evan Williams bottle and bond 100 proof. This probably is the best bottle under 20 bucks. You can get this anywhere from about 15 to like $18. Now it's not like it's not going to be this, right? Don't get me wrong. Let's not get that twisted. But when it comes to the like the price, the actual like what you're getting for it, this is 100 proof, bottled in bond. It is a Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey, which you kind of hit all those pieces. The only thing this one lacks is it doesn't have a ton of extra flavors kind of hitting you on the back end. It's more of like a nice, like subtle bourbon with a little bit of burn. So there you go. Look up Spirits of French Lick. Let me know what you would like. I can bring you down. Oh, French Lick's like a local to you. Aren't you like a Packers fan or something like that? Something like that, right? Detroit? I can't remember. One of those two. I get it. If it's from that area, I'm totally fine with it. Cat is cat is fine, but I'm good with anything. So yeah. So Sharp Dress, you're here. So I think we're gonna have to end up scrapping the blind part of this. She may show up at the end. It just depends on how long you guys kind of hang out for. I'm gonna go ahead and kind of get this down, and then we'll kind of move into something else as well, just because you're here. When it blows up, yeah, I mean the scratchers are probably a little bit more investment. You know what's crazy is like I'm also on TikTok, right? TikTok for one doesn't let you go live until you have 1,000 followers, which is a little bit weird. I get it. I guess everybody's kind of on that stuff. But I see all these guys on there like, yeah, this random person I've never met sent me this sample. I'm a weirdo, right? Like I'm like the germaphobe I am is like I don't know if like some random person I've never met sent me a bottle, like a little micro bottle, if I would be able to drink it without having a panic attack. Like they send me that, I'm like, what'd you do? Roofie me? You know what I mean? You see people getting swatted on YouTube for doing live streams and stuff like that. I can't imagine somebody sending me something. I got to put it in my body. So I'm just a little worried of that. If somebody offered it to me already. They are local in Jacksonville though, so I was like, hey, if you want to meet up, totally fine. I can't give you my address. I don't want you showing up. He did. I can't remember his name. He was on TikTok though, and he sent me a message and he's like, hey, are you local to Jacksonville? I'm local to Jacksonville, St. Augustine. And he said, hey, you got to check out this liquor store. You know, they're fairly new. It's called Shores Liquor. Now, they have a few in St. Augustine that's kind of been around, but there's a Shores Liquor in Jacksonville, Florida, over on Wells Road. If you're from the area, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you're not, then maybe look it up. But they have a liquor store that's merged with a bar. The bar is kind of nice looking. It's got pool tables, all that kind of jazz. But that's the store that they stick all their allocated stuff. They stock with all the good stuff here. They had Midnight's Dram or whatever you call it there as well, which I didn't pick that up. I wasn't paying that much. But they had a bunch of stuff that was like better than all the other liquor stores around here. But the selling factor to that is all their like super allocated stuff, like your Pappies, things like that, they actually don't even sell them. What they do is they put it over in their bar and they sell pours. And their pours aren't bad price. Like you could get a pour of I should be asking for a sponsor before I tell you guys this stuff. I tried to talk to the owner. I ended up talking to a worker. He was cool. Don't get me wrong. But if the owners see this, hit me up, fam. Um, but they sell pours of Pappy 10-year for about like 25 bucks. And we're like, this is not a pour, right? This is like a taste. Like they're filling it up. So if you're in the Jacksonville area, shoot me a DM. I'll let you know as soon as I can get like a cut of what they got going on. I'll send you the address. So Professor said Vikings. You're a Vikings fan? No, you're a Detroit fan. That's what it is. That's what it is. You are terrible. Yeah, I am. Boo, Viking. Sharp Chest Cat. Where are you located? I can't remember. Trying to move some Michter's Sour Mash. Wait. Moving on to some Michter's Sour Mash. Neat. Ever had any bottles from it? Yeah, I did a Michter's Bourbon review. Not too bad. Where is it at? It's not down here. I got like half of stuff here, half of stuff over there. I did Michter's Bourbon, just a straight bourbon. I liked it quite a bit. Everybody kind of gave me shit for it because they were like, oh, it's not worth it. The price range for Michter's, I liked it quite a bit. It wasn't the best thing in the world. I actually like this way better. The more I drink on this, I'm actually like, this is climbing up the ladder for me. Michter's is kind of like that brand that's, everybody knows who they are, so it's kind of like more reliable. It's like the Jack Daniels of now. You know what I mean? They're kind of just everywhere. What's crazy is in the Total Wine that we have here, I can't remember her name, so don't roast me in the comments, but the distiller is a woman, and she is in Total Wine like signing bottles. I believe it's this weekend or it was last weekend. I'm not going to go get like an autograph or nothing, but she's in town, so you can check that out if you're local. But yeah, so like around here they love Michter's. I try to get some of the special releases, but you can't really. Here they're like on a point system for anything allocated, so you got to spend a certain amount of money. Total Wine, I'm pretty much good. I'm working on Shores Liquor. ABC around here too is like brutal to get in. They want you to spend a shit ton. Oh yes, Bills fan. I forgot. Oh God, I forgot. We haven't done a live since the games, so I'll take my whippings. I understand. We have a place that's called Red Barrel Cast Strength. I want that. I don't know what it is, but it sounds good. Yeah, yeah. With the address stuff, Kat, it's giving out your address. Like, it's a little sketchy. You know what I mean? Like, there's some weirdos on the internet, and there's good ones and there's also crazy ones though. Random people that just kind of shoot you a message saying, "Hey, I want to send you something." They could be sending you a bomb. You don't know. I'm definitely on like the conspiracy end. Like, I'll run down that rabbit hole quick. So I would get a PO box first if somebody was gonna send me something. But again, kind of going back to like samples, if it was from like a distillery, sure, like I would trust that. But just some random guy named Craig with 3 followers on TikTok is like, "Hey, you want to try this?" No, I don't. I'm okay. I'll just buy the bottle. Just recommend it to me. Oh, oh yeah, you're in Colorado. Is it cold there? I saw some pictures from my uncle that lives there. God, he's in I don't know where he's at. I can't remember. But the pictures he posts are beautiful. He's around a bunch of hot springs. Pasagona. I'm butchering that. Professor, do you mean Horse Soldier? No, I haven't had that. I saw it. It's just a little pricey for me, and I haven't heard much good things about it. So I was kind of like, I'd love to try it. I don't know if I want to spend like $60 here. It may be different prices here than it is there. But last I saw it was like $60. For me, like buying as many bottles as I have, especially lately, I don't want to buy anything at full price. The only thing that I've actually ever bought at full price is the blends, and that was secondary prices. Everything else has been on sale. So I look for the wheel and deals here because you can really rack up a bill buying different bottles. And like when you're drinking, like it sounds like I'm like an alcoholic. Not an alcoholic. Alcoholics are quitters. But like I could never drink this whole bottle without some help. You know what I mean? So like I would buy 5 other bottles before we even came close. There's one guy on TikTok I saw earlier. I had a little comment, be like, "Hey man, maybe you should do a water review," because he's like, "Yeah, I've killed 6 bottles this month," and I'm like, "That's crazy. Like I could never drink that much." Well, maybe. All right. So my final thoughts on Bardstown Bardstown Bourbon Company single barrel. I like it a lot. It honestly, it reminds me a lot of the chocolate old fashioned video I did. It has the chocolate, has the cherries, has a little bit of like caramel thrown in, a little bit of oak as well, a little bit of burn too. So like if you're not in with the high proof stuff, it's not for you. But if you can like get past that, after the first couple sips, stop burning your mouth, and you're good to go. So for me, definitely worth it. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this down. I have no room for it. Scoot that here. And we're going to go ahead and roll right into really part 2, right? So buckle up, baby. We're going to go ahead and try Penelope. I figured we'd go ahead and try this one. Obviously, I wanted to break it up in between, do a little blind tasting, but it's already about 9:30 here. She's not going to make it in time. Last thing I want to do is do it last because I'll be super biased at that point. But this is Penelope Architect. Let me go ahead and swap cameras for you real quick. Penelope Architect is basically a straight bourbon whiskey finished with an oak. Now, everything that I've read about this is that it should be on the sweeter side, right? That's check one. I like that. I heard it's supposed to be like a vanilla, kind of like a vanilla bomb, right? Kind of like that creamy vanilla-ish. Heard that, like that as well. That's why I was kind of hunting this one down. That, and to be honest, like completely honest with you guys, bro, does that bottle not look good, right? Their marketing team, they need a raise. Bro, this looks like a high-class bottle. It's just the contrasting colors between the bourbon, the blue, and the white. The white's kind of like a silverish as well. So, I mean, you can't beat that. It's one of those bottles when you put it on the shelf, somebody's going to ask, "What is that?" And that's kind of where kind of collecting bourbon, not to the extent where you're not drinking them. If you're collecting bourbon, not drinking them, you have a bigger issue than me, I do drinking them. But when it comes to like being able to have a cool story piece, that's the part that I love. Really, where it comes like drinking bourbon, drinking in general, most people do it for like a social thing, right? They do it with friends, kind of hang out, they have a few cocktails, have some fun, right? And that's where like you can build on the story of this bottle or the look of the bottle, just like the Traveler's whiskey and stuff like that. And that's kind of like where a lot of this stuff starts becoming really cool because you'll kind of start remembering that stuff. The Traveler whiskey is probably the best story piece, I would say that there is. But for this one, we're gonna have to figure out if it's worth drinking. My stepdad likes Jefferson's Oceans whiskey, but he got money like that. I hate Jefferson's Oceans. The last time I had it, I was not a fan. It's not good in an old fashioned. Now you could ask me which one. I couldn't tell you. She's blowing me up. We're getting Chick-fil-A, guys. We're getting Chick-fil-A. But Jefferson's Oceans to me is just not good. I don't know if it was like a mental thing, but I thought it tasted salty to me at a certain point. I just was not a fan. So I would. That's where I kind of default. Like you can spend a lot of money on Jefferson's Ocean, or you can buy Woodford's Double Oak. You know what I mean? Woodford's Double Oak all day. What's also good too, that I used to drink kind of like frequently, is Crown Royal XO. It's probably the only Canadian whiskey that I was like, yeah, I gotta have that. I have that purple box, the 10-year, 15-year, whatever it is. It's okay, but it's not better than the XO. Cat says, yes, got damn freezing lately, hit -4 a few days ago. I'm behind on the comments because I'm kind of talking, but I get what you mean. Yeah, no, it was definitely tons of snow in the photos he sent me. Let's see. Sharp Dress says, shit getting real now. Second favorite bottle. So this is your second favorite bottle of all time, this one? And you've had it? I need that answer before I even drink it. Professor says, local cigar shop raves about pen. Maybe I'm hammered. I don't know what you're talking about. Which build is it? I assume number 6 or number 7 on the back of the label, upper top. Let me see. Yeah, it's Architect Series build number 7, aged 4 years. So when they sold it to me, they're like, yeah, it's a pretty common bottle. The Bardstown that we had, he was like, yeah, this one everybody wants, but like they keep asking for this brick house and this floor. What was hilarious is like the guy had no idea who I was. Like, I'm a nobody at this point, right? And he's like, yeah, these people keep coming in asking me like, do you have this floor on this? I want the upper floors. And he was like mocking them. Bro, I was dying. Because he's like, yeah, they want to like put it on their YouTube channel. And I'm like, yeah, stupid. Let me get that bottle though. So yeah, it was a good time. I hope that guy sees it. He was really nice though. Don't get me wrong. Super nice guy. He had his quirks. But you got to build a little bit of relationships with some of these places around here, because if not, like, they're not going to pull the nice stuff out. The only reason I got the Bardstown, by the way, is because I was like, hey, I love your selection. Let me get this. Let me get this. Let me get this. I had a few other things up there. And they wanted to put the Bardstown mixed in like a 3-pack with like the St. Augustine distillery, because it doesn't sell, and like some other like no-name bottle. And they're like, yeah, it's going to be like $350. I go, I'm not paying that. I was like, I just want that one. And then she was like, oh, I can give it to you for 70. And I was like, oh, I saw it for 90. Saw it for 99. Let me pick that up then. If you look up the picture of a Chick-fil-A nugget platter commercial, it looks like a plate of dog treats. Hey, that's the Lord's chicken. Don't do that. I love Chick-fil-A. We don't get nuggets though. Nuggets are weird. You're either getting the spicy sandwich or you're getting strips. You don't. Nuggets are probably for dogs. Yes, second favorite all time. Now we're nervous. So if you end up not liking it, I'm gonna look at you stupid. I agree. If I don't like it and you love it that much, I would think kind of weird too. Build 7 and solid. Build 6 is better. Well, shit, bro. Why didn't you tell me beforehand? Now I got 7. I need 6. I've got 12 bottles of number 3, but don't let what I. Well, it's too late. I didn't get to that comment in time. Let's go ahead and pour this up. I'm excited to try this. Before I dive in too far, the things I like about bourbon are 3 main factors. I like when it has vanilla in it. It's just something I really like. I like when it has hints of caramel, not like a ton, just like a little Salt Bay action right on top. And then I like when it has some oak. This having the oaks finish in here, French oak. I don't know if I've had French oak to be honest, but probably. But all those kind of pair exactly to what I want for a bourbon, right? Because that's exactly what I want in my old fashioned. So let's go ahead and pour this up. Dun, dun. Here we go. What's funny? There's a lot of people go, oh, what's the legs look like? What's crazy is the legs on this actually looks pretty good. Not bad, not bad. Don't call me an expert or nothing, but I'm just saying, like, not bad. All right, let's see what's like on the nose. I just noticed there's writing on the bottom. It says the Glencairn glass. Okay, I was like, whoa, wait, what's happening here? Wow. All right, Sharp Dress. I can see you in the comments on my computer. I'm a little delayed here. What do you say? LOL. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to disrespect Chick-fil-A. No. You can just play the nuggets. It's just the strips of the sandwich. Hey, we gotta be careful because like if they mess up my order because of you, like now we have issues. I love Chick-fil-A. People say Zaxby's over Chick-fil-A. What's funny? It's long. What was it? 20-year-old me, 21-year-old me did a Chick-fil-A. I used to have YouTube back in the day, right? Back in the day, I'm old as fuck. I did a Chick-fil-A versus Zaxby's video, right? Zaxby's chicken technically is better. It's a little bit crispier, right? But Chick-fil-A is just overall just better. You fight for each other in the comments if you want to, but waiting suspensefully. I agree. I don't want to give it any hints or nothing, but the vanilla is strong with this one. You know what? I need to do it properly. Let me cleanse the palate. Let me pop a little prime action in here. All right, Penelope Architect. See. It is heavy vanilla, right? So don't get me wrong there. Vanilla is punching you in the face. I like that though. I definitely get some oak. The part that I like about the vanilla though, it is more of like an ice cream French vanilla style. Like that's what I smell, right? Obviously, I always have to preference this with people that don't drink a lot of bourbon, right? You're gonna have the bourbon dominant, right? But then right underneath that is French vanilla ice cream. Pow! Hits you right in the face. So if you just sit back, kind of focus on it, that's what you get. And I like that a lot because that maybe we put in a little milkshake action. Who am I? Let's see what it's like on the palate. Cheers. One sip, everybody knows the rules. Yeah, I mean, it's bourbon ice cream. That's what it is. And that's just exactly what it tastes like. My mouth started watering when I said that. Um, yeah, I mean, first thoughts. Obviously, vanilla dominant has some cream. The cream kind of dies off though. Like if you were to sit there and actually sip it and think about it, like it hits you right at first, and then it kind of slowly dissipates right at the end. The cream part of it, it's almost like you're chewing on French vanilla. Love that though, not in a bad way. And the oak kind of comes at the end here, kind of bringing it back. I almost feel like I'm at a campfire. Is kind of the vibes I'm getting. So if you're asking me if I like it, hell yeah, I like it. It's really good. The only thing that I would say that is a negative with this, right? Just because let's critique it properly. Love the vanilla, love the cream aspect because it kind of like dies off, and then you're like, all right, cool. Now I'm having a drink instead of a milkshake, right? But right at the end, it kind of like turns up the heat, kind of hits you in the back of the throat a little bit. That part is only the part that will like push away most people, right? Because this isn't a high proof. This is, it's 104. Is that high proof? I don't know. You know what I mean? For me, that's pretty average proof, which for 100 proof, it definitely has some kick on the back end. But again, I think this would be buck nasty in an old fashioned. I think that would kill it. I think for the most part that you could drink this straight up, like I'm going to. Let's see what she said. Chick-fil-A's on the way. What was that sent? Yeah, that was just sent just a minute ago. So if she gets here in time, you guys are still hanging around, we're gonna go ahead and do the blind. If not, no big deal. We can always do it again. What I wanted to do for the blinds is doing like a blind tasting Tuesdays and start going live on Tuesdays. What's your guys' thoughts on that, right? Because Fridays is hit or miss, right? Because some people are going out, some people staying home. It's definitely a drinking night, so like who doesn't want to get a little litty on Friday? But Tuesday's like right after the hardest day of the week. You're moving into hump day. You know what I mean? It's just weird. But tasting Tuesdays, come on, you can't beat that. It's all about the name at that point. I was way behind on the comments. Suspensefully waiting. Yay. What's the ohs about? That was like, bro, you giving me whiplash. No, I like it. I like it a lot. Am I gonna say it's my favorite? No, not my favorite. Woodford's Double Oak is definitely better, but I'm biased with that, right? Because I've had Woodford's. I had Woodford's as like one of my first old fashions, right? To kind of take you guys back just a hair, right? Obviously, back in the day, it was Jack and Coke, rum and Coke. That was what we got at the bars. Well, whatever it was, splash some Coke in it. Let's get hammered. That was the name of the game. We kind of evolved a little bit, right? Became a little bit more of an adult. Started going on vacation. We still get Jack and Cokes. Don't get me wrong. But we started moving to more complicated cocktails. Amaretto sour was one of them, but it was a sweeter one. And I mainly drank that because one of my buddies was super, like, he's just a bitch. That's just what it was, right? He wanted the lighter, sweeter tasting alcohol. And they were good, right? That was mainly like the cruise vibes, especially Hawaiian shirt, short shorts. You know what I mean? You can picture it. Hopefully you can't, but if you can, short shorts on these bad boys. But that's kind of where we kind of rolled into, and we're like, all right, let's get more of an adult cocktail. We had an old fashioned, right? And we started creating them at home, right? Just kind of like figuring it out. No experience, no nothing. And St. Augustine's Distillery was one of the first ones, right? And then we kind of moved into just normal Woodfords. We had some Angel's Envy, things like that. And we kind of just started figuring things out. We went to one bar in St. Augustine, downtown St. Augustine, where this bartender would explain to us exactly how to make an old fashioned. That's kind of where you get that glass, where you see me chilling all the old fashions before I actually pour it in. And that's so that way, one, your ice doesn't melt in the glass and you don't have like water in your glass. If you're going to dilute your old fashioned, let's do it pre-glass. And that's where he started saying, hey, you can kind of just start getting creative with your bitters, your sugars, things like that. And that's kind of where everything kind of took off. Now, at mine and my buddy's house, we kind of just start evolving off of that. And that's kind of where everything kind of became. Now everybody says, call me old fashioned, but it's that's kind of how everything started becoming. Now this one is definitely up that alley where it's gonna make a mean old fashioned. Don't get me wrong. So if you haven't had this in an old fashioned, go ahead and start. It's good. Kat says, I agree on your take on the proof. It's got a weird bit of Penelope at its lowest proof, 52% compared to 58. Barrel proof and the private selects, most toasted. Yeah, like this one compared to like the Bardstown that I just had. Where's that one at? Oh, can't find it. Oh, see, this one right here, Bardstown single barrel, right? This one is barrel strength and it is 26.8 proof. This one has a little bit more bite than this one. You know what I mean? And that's mainly just coming off of the like this one itself is it's just smoother. Is the easiest way I can explain it. This one has all the notes that you want. It has the vanilla, it has a hint of caramel, it has a little bit of cream in there as well, so it makes you feel like you're eating like an ice cream. But at the end of the day, this one has that kickback at the end, so the everyday person isn't going to want this. They're going to want this one. And price wise, this one I believe is like 40-50 bucks. This one is 70 to 100 bucks. Right now, that's not a like a knock on either one of them. Two totally different price ranges, two totally different bourbons. You know what I mean? So like you can't really compare the two, but I just had them back to back. You guys voted on which one, so that's why we're talking about those two in particular. But but this one's not bad. I'm glad I bought it. I'm glad we picked it up, and then that way we can kind of sip on this later on as well, and we can kind of let it evolve on our palate as well. Mainly because like when you first have a bourbon, if it's a little, white person-esque spicy, right, and it kind of hits you weird, you go back to it, it's going to be different the next time. Penelope Architect also pairs nicely with regular chocolate milk. I found out combos not for everyone, but I don't know. Chocolate milk? Hey, Kat, yeah, hey, you've been solid, bro. Lighten up the comments. I'm not mixing this with chocolate milk. Do we have chocolate milk? I can't mix bourbon and chocolate milk. This is like kind of like eggnog. I need more information on that part. Uh, chocolate milk bourbon punch. That's one to try. Mitchell's also back in this. Babe, we got chocolate milk. She's not here. That's my bad. I forgot. If you ever find Penelope Rose cast finish, be careful. It does have a synthetic cork. Like others, it has a glass stopper. That's a pain in the sass to get out. Chocolate milk chocolate, not chocolate milk. Oh, okay. All right. I was getting worried. I was like, man, I'm gonna have to go create chocolate milk to just try this bad boy. Milk chocolate. I'm with you 100%. I can imagine this to me feels like a winter bourbon, right? Fall to like winter. You sit down by a little fire, you have a nice little glen of this, right? Maybe buddies, your friends, wife, family members, whoever. Make a little s'mores, right? As they're cooking the s'mores, you're like, hey, let me get a little piece of chocolate. Take a bite of chocolate, take a sip of this. That would be a good pairing. I'm with that all day. Chocolate milk. I was worried, so I'm glad that wasn't the case. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Let's do this, guys. Just in case, because I don't want to keep drinking if I'm gonna have to drink two different bourbons coming up here in a second. So let's call the wife. You guys with that? You guys talk to her. I'll just. Ooh. Hey, you're live on the stream.
Oh, hi.
What's the ETA look like?
I'm pulling into the neighborhood now.
Okay, you're pulling in the neighborhood. All right. Then the taste test is back on, guys. All right. See you in a minute.
All right, bye.
All right. Love you. Bye.
Love you too.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, ladies and gents. I got to finish this. Get this out of the way. So the blind tasting is still on. A little late. She may be watching. So we're going to say definitely not her fault. Couldn't be her fault. Let's see. She did find the strapless bra, guys. I knew you were worried about it, so that's why I let you know. If you're just popping in, though, guys, we were going to do a blind tasting between two different little bourbons. Nothing crazy, right? Because first blind we're gonna do. I'm not gonna pop out with Blanton's and Buffalo, unless you want that. But we're planning to do a little honey bourbons. Wife's running a little late. We have baby shower tomorrow, so we got to make sure that she's all set and ready to go. So she was out hunting because I couldn't do it earlier. Bro, that's got to be the comment of the year right there, Kat. I'm right here. He's ready to win $1 million. Can you answer this question? What bourbon is he drinking? She'd have no clue, guys. I'd love to have her on and be able to sit here and just kind of have a drink, talk with you guys. But even this watered down cherry stem, half ice cube of bullet old fashioned mix, like she wouldn't like it. You know what I mean? So she's more of a White Claw kind of girl. Maybe mix a White Claw with what was it called? Crystal Light packets. That's what they used to do. White Claw, dash of vodka, Crystal Light. That's what they did. Right, babe?
Yep.
See? Told you, she just walked in. All right, let me get this out of the way, and then we'll go ahead and start the blind in just a minute. She's got to get settled. All right, guys. So we already know Evan Williams honey. Love that stuff, right? Kat, this might have been you. I could be wrong though, so don't get too mad. One of you guys recommended Jim Beam honey, right? Just because I was like, man, this got to be one of the best ones, and everybody's like, you got to try Jim Beam's honey. This one's actually the winner. So we're gonna figure out today which one's actually the better one. For me, when you make a honey old fashioned, one of these two got to come out on top. Just simply because a honey old fashioned, throw in some apple, little brown sugars, little apple bitters. We're talking about summer. The summer is on the line, so we got to figure it out. So give me just a second, guys, and we'll I'll go ahead and roll the B-roll for you guys. How about that? Ooh, drop the phone. I'll go ahead and roll the clip so you can kind of see both bottles a little bit in action. All right, well now we're back live. Just talk with the wife. She's gonna come pour these in just a second. She'll just kind of walk on when she's ready. I'll go ahead and open this for her just in case. Hello. This is Mrs. Old Fashioned. If you didn't know, now you know. So I'm gonna make it easy for you. I just need you to pour just a little bit of this one in one of the glasses, a little bit of this one in one of the glasses. You can mix them up. You can change the bottles, do whatever you want.
Okay.
But at the end, I need you to know which one is which glass is which.
Okay.
All right, so if you got to take a picture, write in your notes, whatever you got to do.
Okay.
And then I'll be over here. You just let me know when to come back.
Okay. Hey guys.
I have the mic. She thinks she can hear it. Do you want to talk to them?
No, it's okay.
I'll just leave this right here for you. Now they can hear you.
You better go.
I'm gone.
Okay, guys. All right, we're gonna pour. I don't know. Do I do it the same? Let's see. Let me go grab my phone. Just so I don't forget. All right. There you go.
You know which one's which.
Yeah, I took a picture. I'm eating it.
Go ahead, dude. All right, let me get the mic back on.
You also know the YouTube on the right so I don't look bad.
I said, I was like, doesn't she look fine? And nobody will answer because they don't want to get kicked out. Well, I mean, I'm probably the bigger catch, but I mean, whatever. All right. So just in case you guys are just joining in, we have Evan Williams honey, and then of course Jim Beam honey. We're gonna try and figure out which. God damn, babe,
What?
you poured me a hell of a lot.
Sorry.
Holy shit!
I didn't know.
This is the beginning of the end, my boy.
I didn't know.
Yeah, that's what Mitchell. That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like, there's just a different level when it comes to that kind of stuff. What's crazy is I can look at the bottles. The bottles look completely different. Babe, I just want to double check. You didn't pour the same bottle in 2 glasses, did you?
No.
Okay, just make sure. So they look identical. So the whole point of this blind is figuring out which one is the better honey, and then we're gonna make that one in the honey old fashioned basically all summer, unless somebody else in here has another like runner up that's a better honey bourbon than one of these two. So
Ask them if I could.
I'm gonna go ahead and switch cameras just so you can kind of see what we're working with. We have Evan Williams honey and then Jim Beam honey. Now this one, just to double check, we're working with 65 proof on the Jim Beam, and then we're also working with 65 proof on the Evan Williams honey. Now I know that Evan Williams honey is mixed with a honey liqueur. Let me see what this is. Real honey liqueur infused with Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. So the price is damn near identical, right? So it all comes down to preference at this point. So I'm not going to go in and try to figure out, you know, which one of these are going to be the most complex bourbon. It's more just kind of have a little fun, right? Figure out which one's going to be better, which one's going to make the best, you know, apple old fashioned, honey apple old fashioned at that. So let's figure it out. Sharp does crash. LOL. I don't know which one's which, but I'm just gonna separate these real quick. No, I get it. I mean, I've been here all night though, so you can say that whenever. That one, not as much honey. I feel like my nose is broke. They both. What's crazy is I don't like doing blinds a lot, just simply because like my nose likes to play tricks on me, right? The palate's usually pretty normal, but like my nose wise is like just broken. My nose ain't broken, but you know what I mean. What's crazy is like the first time I had one of these, like it was just straight like honey. There was nothing else. You know, super weak. I get a ton of ethanol on both of these right now, and of course you get honey, right? If I had to guess, this one on my right is a little bit sweeter, right? So let me go ahead and try this one first. Cheers. I like that a lot. For me, a little burn on the end there. For me, I probably said this a million times. Obviously love bourbon, right? You can mix bourbon and honey. It just kind of flows perfectly. You know what I mean? The honey kind of feels a little artificial, but that's just more of like me super critiquing it at this point. But I like it a lot. So if the other one's better, we're cooking. You can't go wrong at this point. The nose on this one is definitely weaker, right? It's not as strong. At least not for the honey side, right? It definitely has a little bit more other stuff going on. The ethanol, I can't get over the ethanol on this one. This one's definitely sweeter. This one is more whiskey-esque / bourbon forward, if you will. I'm not going to say that in a good way, though. You know, I don't know how to explain that. It's not bad, so don't let me crap on it. I just had this one first. This one is a little bit more. It's more this. Everybody else is probably going to like this one more, mainly because this one is more like bourbon whiskey with a dash of like that honey sweetness on top. This one is more of like bourbon honey. Like it tastes like you poured honey right on top of this one. Yeah. So in a blind, if you were to ask me which one is better to me, I'm going to say this one. And I'm probably going to guess it's the Evan Williams honey. And this one's probably the Jim Beam. So that's simply just because I know I like the last one. Evan Williams was money last time. This is sweeter. Now, obviously, we're not talking Blanton's. We're not talking Old Forester. We're not talking Eagle Rare or nothing like that. But when you're blind in something like this, to me, I'm more looking like what's going to be that best dessert-esque old fashioned, right? Because I'm gauging what one's going to make a better honey apple old fashioned. This one or this one in a sense, right? This one's not bad, so don't let me beat it up too much. But it's a little bit like stronger, a little less honey. I feel like if I put this one in it, it wouldn't be as predominant in the old fashioned. I'd probably lose a little bit of that honey. So that's my thoughts. Let's see. Wait, they're totally backwards from what I'm saying. Which one's which, babe? Which one's which? She's getting it for me now. The answers are in. The poll is being tallied.
The one on your left is Jim Beam.
Yeah. Wait. You're not looking at the stream, are you?
No, baby.
Okay.
Look, here.
Yeah, just show me the picture. Yeah, so I got it right. Woo! Wow, I'm right. Yeah. Evan Williams was the winner. I was right on both. Yeah, Evan Williams to me is now granted, don't say, "Oh, this was so much better than that one." It's fairly close, right? But for what I'm looking for, I'm never going to drink this straight up in a Glencairn and just be like, "Yeah, that's what I'm going to sip on all night." I wouldn't do that with either one of them. You know what I mean? I'd much rather pull out the Bardstown, which I'm going to do the second the stream ends. But for this one, for what I'm looking for, I want a little bit of a sweeter bourbon. I want it to be able to kind of still have a little bit of a kick, but I mainly want it to be able to carry the old fashioned when it comes to all the honey notes. I want it to be able to complement everything that I'm putting in it, which is going to be the apple bitters, simple syrup, things like that. I don't think you actually need simple syrup with this one, but it's just preference. This one would probably be good. You would need the simple syrup though. But again, like the honey notes aren't as dominant, so it's yeah, I'm going with Evan Williams, which I do think that this one was a let me see what this bottle was. Yeah, this is a 750 milliliter, so is that one. Prices are damn near the same. I think Evan Williams is, I believe, actually, so I got this one on sale. I don't think I got that one on sale. This one was $9.99 on sale. This one was probably $15. So save yourself $5. Go with the Evan Williams. Did you spoil it, Sharp Jess? I can't. So my comments to me on my side are super delayed. So I have to like kind of manhandle everything from the phone. Computer's over there, but it's a little bit far away. But I can click back and forth, right? I can show you the winner. Winner, Evan Williams honey. Bro, look at that fucking pour. I drank multiple times out of this, and there's still that much left. She poured me up like she was trying to take advantage of me later, guys. Just saying. I'm not saying she did, but help. So appreciate you guys hanging out tonight. Obviously we're gonna do a little bit more live streams kind of coming up. Obviously we're gonna do something a little bit better than just honey versus honey. I'm gonna break into a little bit more crazier stuff, but I wanted to kind of do a little bit of a test run with the style that I wanted to do. Let me know your thoughts down below. Do you like the kind of B-roll? Let me run one real quick for you, just in case you're new and you haven't got here. I'm gonna kind of run two different B-rolls. What ooh, got caught. I was hitting my vape. So yeah, what's your thoughts on that? Do you like that kind of stuff? Do you think it's a waste of time? That's the kind of stuff I need to know because I spent a lot of time making that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? I think I've been working on this live stream since 8:30 this morning. Between each individual, B-roll of each bottle, obviously we haven't got to everything like repeat. Yeah, so you see stuff like that, like it takes more time than I'd like, just simply because we're in the middle of moving. That's also what this backdrop is, by the way, guys. Normally, like I would have this open up, but we're moving. We're gonna move at it on Friday. You know what I mean? So like we got boxes and a bunch of shit back there. So I wanted to kind of make it a little bit cleaner for the stream itself. So let me know your thoughts down below. Do you like live streams like this? Do you want me to keep the B-roll in? Do you say scrap the B-roll, just drink as much as you possibly can? Again, I'm here to entertain you guys, so let me know down below. Again, if you like videos like this, though, live streams like this, like, subscribe, do all that jazz, and I will see you guys on the other side. Peace. See, Kat, that's why I like you, because you like the B-roll. That's what we're here for. I cut it off. We were about to exit. I cut it off for you. So so just the quickest backstory before I'm gonna let you guys go just in a second. The B-roll itself, I'm obviously a photographer, videographer. that's what I like doing. So I like being able to kind of create with that stuff. We're going to get a little bit more creative once we get into the new place. So again, I appreciate you guys. Again, I will see you guys on the other side. Peace.